Hey everybody, how's it going? Tim Meister here, and welcome back to Rockport. In this video, I'm going to be building the Harvard University of City Skylines. So sit back and enjoy. So getting started here, this is the location that I've chosen for this university campus. It's right outside the city, nestled into the mountains over here. And part of the reason why I chose this location is because I have all the space in the world to build this university. I wanted to make sure that I have enough room to build this really unique layout that I'm going for. So as you can see here with my road layout, you're probably wondering what the heck is going on. Well, I'll tell you that for this university, I am heavily inspired by the University of Cape Town in Cape Town, South Africa. I always was intrigued by this campus, and I actually had the chance to visit the campus a few years ago on a trip to South Africa, and I always thought that this campus was very unique just because of the way it's shaped, because of the way that, you know, it's predominantly built with very historic buildings, and you know, it's just a really cool looking campus. And every time I play around with these liberal arts buildings in the university DLC, I always think of that campus. So with me having all the room in the world, I figured why not go for a very similar setup here with these cool, with this very unique setup. And on top of this, I want to make this look like a very posh university, you know, just like Stanford or Yale, world-class universities that are obviously very expensive to go to. So I want to emulate that here in the University of Rockport, or I'm not even sure what the name of it is going to be yet. I'll let you guys choose. Maybe give a little bit of lore if you can, if you want to leave me a comment down below what you think this university should be called and what it stands for and all that good stuff. But obviously I just want this to be a very posh university, you know, that kind of university that some of your friends may have gone to that you're like, oh my god, how did you afford to go there? Right? So it's going to be very cool. I'm going to have all of the amenities that are possible in a campus. I want this to be a level 5 campus. I want to max it out and just, I want it to be the best university I can get. So obviously to do that, I'm going to have to build many copies of the same building. So I'm going to provide plenty of dorms. I'm going to provide plenty of sports arenas, that kind of thing. Everything that I can do to level up this university to the max and to get the most amount of students in here. So it's not going to be too challenging, honestly, just because I have all the space in the world to play around with. Of course, I'm playing with unlimited money, and I'm just plopping down all of the buildings. So it's not really challenging per se, but I can see how it could be if I was limited in space. So of course, with this university, all of the buildings and stuff are going to be very historic and very grandiose. So I'm going to provide a lot of public spaces, a lot of green spaces. You know, I want this campus to look very nice and well manicured. So I'm going to provide a lot of there's going to be a lot of trees, a lot of little amenities, benches, places to sit outside, things like that, right? So I want it to be very accessible and, you know, overall just look really cool. So over on the other side of this main road here, we'll call it this 4-lane road that goes straight through the campus. On one side is going to be all of, I guess, the lecture halls, the dorms, all of the administrative buildings, that kind of stuff. And on the other side, it's going to be more focused on sports. So I have a large track and field over here. I have what I think is like some sort of medical studies building, this big building here that I'm moving around. I forget exactly what it is. Anyways, so yeah, there's gonna be some big sports fields and stuff on this side of the campus. So much more focused on like athletics and that kind of stuff. And this is totally inspired by the University of Cape Town as well. You have like these large soccer fields and stuff out front, and it just looks so cool. It's such a unique campus. I can't get over it. It's so cool because it's on like a hill as well. It's nestled into the mountains, but the whole campus is on a hill. So looking up to the campus from like the lower areas, it just looks really, really cool. It's grandiose. So like I said before, this is a New Zealand themed build. But unfortunately, there is no rugby fields available for the game. So I'm just gonna have to go for the next best thing, which is cricket fields and soccer fields. So this university is gonna host a plethora of them all over the campus. But forgive me on that, guys, that there's no rugby fields. I'm aware that, you know, it's probably one of the most predominant sports in New Zealand, but, you know, unfortunately, the game just doesn't have those things. So cricket it is. Maybe this is like, maybe we can pretend this is a little nation just off the coast of New Zealand where cricket is the sport. What's really interesting is when I started this city, I was going for a heavily inspired Auckland, New Zealand type city. And what's kind of funny is as the city grew and expanded, it took on its own identity. And for a while, probably because of the name Rockport, a lot of you guys were saying that it made you think of Rockport in Need for Speed Most Wanted. And that to me was so funny because that is literally my favorite Need for Speed game. I played the heck out of that game when I was younger. So I'm beginning to think maybe the city has closer ties to that city than it does to Auckland, New Zealand. So it's kind of in a unique spot now where there's a lot of queues that are coming from Auckland, but then the city kind of has a very similar look and feel to Rockport in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Even the road layout is very similar. So what do you think, guys? Let me know down in the comments what you think of this city. What comes to mind when you think of Rockport? Does it make you think of Need for Speed, or do you think it's more aligned with an Auckland type build? Maybe we can have like some sort of hybrid between the two cities. It would look pretty cool. So just like any other world-class universities, there is a ton of money coming into this campus. So I felt like the campus deserved a really, really nice soccer stadium. Much nicer than a lot of other universities. So I have this really luxurious and fancy soccer field here, soccer stadium. So I'm going to decorate it all nicely. I'm going to fit it nicely into this campus. Lots of palm trees, lots of nice details here that you're going to see later on. But yeah, I really like this touch in this campus. It just adds a lot of life to it, and it just brings it a notch above any other normal campus. Just having one of these custom assets here in this university, just it's like the cherry on top of the cake. And I'm so glad that I had all of this available room to build these things too, because this wasn't really planned. Most of this campus was totally unscripted. I just kind of went with the flow and hoped that it looked really cool. The layout itself was kind of scripted. Like I kind of knew what I was basing myself off of, and a lot of inspiration went into this build, but all of the individual buildings that went into it, all of their positions and things like that, this is totally unscripted. And at the end of it, I'm really happy with the way that it all turned out. So yeah, I just really love this stadium. It's like the perfect touch to this campus. And at this point in the build, most of the actual university infrastructure is in place. So all of the actual university buildings, all the sports complexes, everything that's going to contribute to the university campus itself is down. And for the rest of this video, I'm pretty much going to focus on detailing, building some of the surrounding areas, just to provide some filler for the university so it looks good for those juicy cinematics at the end of the video. But that's not the end for this entire region. This entire region surrounding the university campus is going to evolve and expand over time. Now, with this being a very posh and luxurious campus, I'm going to build some very posh and expensive areas around the campus. So there's going to be like a lot of frat houses, a lot of residence for the people going to the university, or the faculty, all the staff. You know, they're going to be living in the area, right? So I'm going to provide some housing. I'm going to build some nice fancy houses surrounding this whole university campus, and everything's going to be nestled into the mountains here around this area. So it's going to look really cool, very luxurious and posh. So I can't wait to get into that. That's going to be a whole episode in itself, but I'm really excited for how this area is going to turn out, and how it's going to integrate into the rest of the city, because now we're kind of starting to push out into the extremities of the city, right? So the downtown peninsula is complete, and now we're working our way a bit farther into the suburban areas eventually, and you know, ever pushing ourselves into the outskirts of the city. So it's going to be really, really exciting for me, and I'm sure you guys too, to see just how the city starts to expand, and we're going to start to see like a big picture of how the city looks as a whole. So I couldn't be more excited to build this. And honestly, guys, I'm having so much fun playing City Skylines again. City Skylines 1. You know, I'm enjoying City Skylines 2, but having taken a break for a few months and then jumping back into it, I forgot just how awesome this game is. And I think I've actually said that exact thing in the last episode of City Skylines 1 Rockport. But I just can't get over just how good this game is. With all the DLCs, with all the mods that are available for it, it's so good. And it's just, everything's there. Yeah, I'm just having so much fun building this. You know, I put some tunes on, I just listen to music, and I just build, and I don't know, I just get into this trance mode. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just talking nonsense right now, but I don't know, maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. But you know, when things are just going good and I get these awesome build ideas, I just, you know, you end up with a really cool university. So, yeah, stay tuned, guys. In just a second, I'm going to get into some really cool cinematics of this finished build. And like I said, this area is going to change and evolve over time. New stuff is going to be added to this area, so stay tuned for the following episodes that are going to come out shortly for Rockport, because I am going to work on this city for the next little while. So guys, with all that being said, I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching my videos. It means the world to me. It would also mean the world to me if you dropped a like down below and a comment letting me know what you think of this build. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, and be sure to stick around for future episodes. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.